everyone, this is Darryl20 and welcome to episode 61 of Darryl20's Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode series. We're trying to get to outer space. I want to have fun with the advanced rocketry mod and do rockets and warp drives and interplanetary travel and all that cool stuff. And exploring other planets and teleporting and fun times. We're going to do it, and we're continuing along the path. So the last several episodes have been dedicated towards this process, right? Like we've worked really hard to basically get to the point where we have the ability to travel to other planets. I don't know how much more we have to do. Quest book wise, we have a lot more quests, but we've at least got all the foundational machines in place, which means at this point we should be able to just start setting up some autocrafts, and hopefully there might be a few more machines like the electrolyzer, but maybe I can use the oxygen from mechanism, right? So like maybe I don't need an electrolyzer, or maybe I do need I don't know. We'll find out. So basic circuits is one of the next tasks that we need to make, right? So did I teach those yet? So basic circuits, that's these things that we have to make, right? So that's in a cutting machine with a basic circuit plate. And a basic circuit plate is in a precision assembler with, okay, yeah, I did not do this, because I definitely did not do this. Okay, cool. Good to know. So let's get going, right? So this, right, and then this, right, and then silicon wafer. Do we know that one yet? Yeah, we did teach that one, so that's good. Basic circuit. We need this thing, so let's make sure that we know how this is made. And I don't think we have conductive iron yet, so we should probably teach that as well, because it should just be in the alloy furnace, iron plus redstone, right? Speaking of the alloy furnace, I think we're cool in terms of more recipes to go in here. Yeah, we totally are. Nice. All right, cool. So that's you. And then we just need that apatine electron tube, because of course we do. Basic circuit. So that's apatite, right, in a thermionic fabricator. So I know we have one thermionic program. Do we have both? We do. How many channels we got over here? We got 7 in use. Seven channels. We've got this ME interface back here too. So I should be able to throw another thermionic here, right? It might require a little bit of finagling with regards to stuff. So what all would be involved here? I need 4 gold gears, an impregnated casing. So that's just some wood, right? Let's just get a stack of wood, so that we can have a bunch of you cooking up. Gears times 4 gold. And a hardened casing. And that should get me my thermionic. Alright, let's get conduits ready, because you know we're going to need a bunch of those, right? Items, and energy. And we also want a new interface ready to go here, right? And that can just live right there. That should be fine, right? How are you guys doing? Good job, I hope? I hope so. Alright, you need a little bit of help. Thanks, Chief. How are we for peanuts? Not too bad. Let's just keep 2. Just in case. Cool. Alright, so now I should be able to get my new thermionic fabricator. And let's see if we can hook this thing up in such a way that's not terrible. Yeah. Apatite. Thank you. Cool. You just need power, and you need items. So you have brown in, green out. So that's basically what we want here. Up can be nothing, and down, or north, can be brown in, green out, right? So that should be filling up with glass. Oh, and by the way, what you want to do, because I found out, there was a couple episodes back where, like, items went missing. They wound up in one of the thermionic fabricators, because we're inserting items, so I added a filter for glass. So we want to do that. So basically in the insert filter, we want to add a white list of glass. So that glass is the only thing allowed into the thermionic fabricator. Cool. No power, missing liquid resources, inventory needs resources. No power? Oh, right. We just haven't hooked it up yet. Boom. Cooking. Cooking, cooking, cooking. Okay. So now, we should have a decent amount of appetite handy, right? Let's get that thermionic fabricator recipe taught. So you are just 5 appetite. And 2 redstone. Cool. And then you go there, and that's my 8th channel on that line. So any more of that has to go up here, along with this guy. Cool beans? All right, so with that cooking, we should be good to make our basic circuit plate and all that good stuff. So let's go flying over here. Whee! And figure out which one of these. So basic circuit plate. This thing is the precision assembler recipe. So that's this dude, right? This is our precision assembler. Yeah. So this guy goes in here, and this one is the cutting machine. So that's this pattern here. So that if we were to take this is from Advanced Rocketry. I just want to take the silicon wafers out so that we can do a full suite of basic circuits from start to finish, right? This should be everything needs to be crafted mode, right? So you're making your conductive iron things. You've scheduled some of these things. So you're crafting a silicon boule, right? That was done in here. Now you're cutting that, and that's cruising right along. And now you're doing this. Very cool, very cool. Right, so you're making your basic circuit plate, and then you're cutting that. Nice. Not too shabby. Done and done. All right. Ding, ding. Psst. There you go. Ding, ding. All right. Progress. And we got some black concrete. Oh, yeah. Now the advanced circuit, which is also going to be needed for some things, this goes into the cutting machine. This goes into the precision assembler. Do we already have intricate circuit boards going on? This is the one that needs all the things, isn't it? And you need a redstone alloy grinding ball and a silicon wafer, which we already have the silicon wafer covered. So let's do that. We don't have redstone alloy, do we? I don't think we did that yet. But we will right now, because it's easy. It's redstone and silicon. Cool, so you're gonna go there, and the rest of you guys can go into where you belong. This guy going here. What is this called? Input hatch? Okay, cool. So this guy probably goes here, and this guy probably goes here to match, you know, that and that, right? They match up. So that should be appropriate, right? So the only thing we need then for the advanced circuit at this point would be intricate circuit boards and silicon. We apparently chose the wrong silicon. Yeah, you, please. That should be cool. All right, so with that working, right, what we need to make now is something to make these doohickeys, right? So we just need another carpenter going, which shouldn't be too big of a deal. Why don't I take care of that off camera real quick? All right, so in theory, we do that now that we have one, and we should be cool to make another. By the way, I had to throw another carpenter here for basic tubes because I didn't have them yet. So we should be able to request a new one, and that's going to do a whole bunch of crafting, but it should be cool, right? So you're stamping out the 4 of these things that we need. You're going to, in a moment here, craft up the advanced doohickeys that we need. That looks cool. And then we'll be back in a sec once I'm confirming this is good. All right, everything else did finish and successfully register that it finished, which is the trick, right? You want to make sure that it actually says, yes, I received the item I was expecting, because sometimes when you do that JEI paste thing, it's pasting an intricate circuit board with a different NBT value, right? So with this complete and there are no more tasks in progress, we are cool, which means that we should now be able to craft advanced circuits, right? Which is missing an intricate circuit board. Remember I said? Yeah, that's what's up. So let's grab that. I think it's an input is what it's called, right? Normal item input, this thing. This guy needs intricate circuit boards. So let's see what you did, right? If we look at you, it's something funny, right? So I'll just remove that, put the proper one in there. See, it says fits 4 electron tubes here. A moment ago it didn't, right? When we look up this recipe, that doesn't say fits 4. This does say fits 4. So there's some kind of NBT value written on that item that's incorrect, right? So that's why shift pasting the intricate circuit boards, you kind of always want to have one and manually populate that piece of the recipe, right? So that's a thing you guys want to be aware of. So now with this good, right, we should be cool over here to make sure that all our machines are running, right? So in a moment, you guys will cook, in theory. Hey, look, it's going. Nice. It's making the advanced circuit plate. Zzz. Huzzah! It's kind of just fun to watch these machines run, because they are cool, right? And then the buzzsaw thing goes next. Buzz. Add a sound effect, and it's just me saying buzz. Buzz. Cool. So that's in place, which means that I should be able to snag that, and quest complete. Ding, ding. Nice. So progress down the path. Block of ironwood. Neat. All right, so what do we have to make next? Electrolyzer is a machine that uses RF to turn water into hydrogen. Both of these fluids are needed later on to make rocket fuel, as well as to be able to breathe in space in the spacesuit. So here's the thing, right? I already have an electrolyzer from Mechanism. So can I or dictionary that, dude? Chemical reactor is a multi-block that uses RF to make various things. Its main use are combining hydrogen and oxygen into rocket fuel and adding the airtight seal enchantment on armor. An armor piece with airtight seal can be used to substitute any piece of the spacesuit when going into any planet without atmosphere or in the vacuum of space. Just like the spacesuit, though, a chest plate enchanted this way still requires to be filled with oxygen. Well, that's interesting. So I think... So rocket fuel, right? Rocket fuel. Let's just see, right? Like this thing... so there's Ender.io rocket fuel, and then there's advanced rocketry rocket fuel, right? Which is made in the chemical reactor between hydrogen and oxygen from nuclear craft. Interesting. So I wonder if it's like or dictionaryable, right? It doesn't show that it is, right? You can also make it in the mixer with oxygen, tar, and bitumen. Right, so hydrogen and oxygen equals rocket fuel in the chemical reactor. And hydrogen comes from the electrolyzer here, right? So water becomes oxygen and hydrogen from nuclear craft, right? Also, the electrolyzer gives you hydrogen, deuterium, and oxygen made in the nuclear craft electrolyzer. And the fusion reactor can make it too. So it doesn't look like it's going to or dictionary with hydrogen and oxygen from Mechanism, because I'm not seeing anything that says oxygen from Mechanism will work, right? Liquid oxygen from Mechanism is probably what you need, and I don't see anything here that tells you like, yeah, you can make the fuel, the rocket fuel that we need, right? Or gas oxygen. So let's go ahead and create both of those things. I want to make the electrolyzer from advanced rocketry and the chemical reactor, and then we'll have access to oxygen. And maybe we'll even look at, because I've got some decent armor going on here, right? Like we could put that seal on these, enchant on these guys, and maybe that would be awesome to have. So let's do that. Let me come back in a moment once we've gotten what we need. So we need the electrolyzer, and we're gonna want this guy ready to make the electrolyzer. So we'll come back after I craft everything to build it in world. Cool? So be right back. Oh, and it just occurred to me, I must have done this the other day, so you guys probably caught this in the comments and yelled at me a lot for dire derping it up. But I've got the blue circuit on the expensive recipe here, right? So I should probably go ahead and teach it this component, right? But we want to make sure we have the right refined circuit board. Right, so it's 2 refined circuit boards. And then, no, it's 1 refined circuit board, right, for that one. And then 3 1Ks in that circuit board. Cool. So let's reset that dude and then make sure that this works. I realized that I had 2 of the 3 in this one, and I was doing the other one the expensive way. So might as well, you know, be cool about it. Because I need these for electrolyzers. Nice, it's working. It's working. You can tell it's working because it's working. So back to off-camera crafting. So quest complete, electrolyzer. Definitely working to make sure that we get most of this stuff made. So now we're gonna fly over here. Whee! Go, go. We'll probably want to sink. Yeah, because I need water, right? So might as well. At this point, like, sink, easy peasy. All right, I just need a bucket of water. I think I should be able to find one of those nearby. Whee! Boom. So now we're ready to electrolyze. Nice. Can I maybe rewire this just a smidgen? I feel like the answer is yes. I feel like the answer should be yes, at least. There you are. Now, this came up here, right? Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that. There you are. Sweet. In fact, I want you to stay like that so that we can see that the channels are online. 4 out of 8. Nice. Which means I can put something like glass in here and it'll go away. Good. So everything's back up and running. But just a little bit less dire wire. With that, let's put the electrolyzer facing kind of this way. So we can place him here. Does that sound cool? Because the machines are all different sizes, it's a little bit tough to get them lined up in a way that like looks pretty good, but it's all good. So fluid output hatch, 1, 2. So that's hydrogen and oxygen being output, right? Or do I maybe want to turn this? Maybe I'll turn this so that, you know, you've got your hydrogen and oxygen coming out here, and you've got your fluid input hatch here hooked up to the sink. Does that sound cool? Right? So down extract, south insert, booyah. Okay, electrolyzer. And then just 2 machine structures. And then you've got power input times 2 and a gold coil or some kind of coil. And then boom, we're good to go. Nice. Let's turn you on. Let's make sure you got juice. And that should be electrolyzing. Yay! Plus it looks cool, right? So look, oxygen, hydrogen, booyah. I'd really like it if you reversed that. I wish you could say like hydrogen here, oxygen here, because I want to access this oxygen. And I would probably build the machine here that's going to fill up my spacesuit eventually. But what are you going to do? So next up, we need the chemical reactor to make the other thing. So let's get this guy set to chemical reactor mode, and we'll be back in a minute once I craft all the components of that. All right, if I'm not mistaken, that's everything I need. It also helps that it says chemical reactor quest complete. Look, it took me all day to craft all that. To be fair, I kicked off like a dozen structure blocks, and those just take a long time. All right, so let's see what this thing looks like in the world, and if we can map it out to be like Fluid output, power in, power in. Where's the fluid inputs come in? Here? That's weird. So that's fine though. We'll just have, there's the output hatch and the fluid output hatch. So the fuel is going to come out here. I don't know what items come out of this. Chemical reactor. What do you produce? You can do carbon collection processes. Okay, cool. So that can turn, that can pull charcoal out of your collection, dude. Neat. Okay. Oh, and this is where you can also combine things, apparently, with things. Okay. So that's where you do all your put oxygen tanks on armor things. Okay, got it. So fluid output hatch will be here. Did I do the right one there? Fluid output hatch, yes. You're going to be a machine structure. You're going to be an item output hatch. You're going to be an IC2 power plug, or any kind of power plug, and so are you, and you're a motor. Motor. Boop. And the chemical reactor block goes here, and the fluid input goes here, and fluid input goes here, and input hatch goes there. Bing! Nice. All right, so presumably what we want to do, because these are fluids, right? We want to do boop, boop, right? And we're going to do that. Boop, boop. And that should be cool. That's the fluid output hatch down there, by the way. Right, so you on the extract always active. So you're getting oxygen over here, right? And then you are getting hydrogen over here, right? And that should combine in the chemical reactor once I give you a little bit of juice. And again, it'll be easier for me to either design a building around this structure, or, you know, for you guys to design a building around the structure a little bit more accurately. I'm stuck in the ground. Just easier to teleport out. Once everything's placed, so we know, like, what the structures look like. But we've got, you know, 100,000 power going on here. And you're producing rocket fuel. Slowly but surely, but nonetheless producing. So that's cool. Oh, that's right, because you don't have a doohickey here. Did I use all of it? Did I use all my conduiting? I made a little bit more in preparation for being low. There we go. 2 power plugs, now you're good. Awesome. So if I wanted this to run faster, I totally easily could. But I think we're good right now. Doesn't really tell you how much RF per ticket's using. I'm sure it's a decent amount, but cool. So we've got hydrogen, oxygen, we've got rocket fuel. So that's 2 more quests complete that we can put under our belt now. I think we're well on our way. Ice cream. Now that's a reward. Hardened cell frame. Only 1, but still I'll take it. And it's dairy, so that's what's up, because I'm always low on dairy. Right? How do you make ice cream? Is that, like, easy? It's milk plus salt plus snowball. That's pretty easy, to be fair. How much nutrition do we get from that? Not a lot, but still, it's dairy. So, you know. All right, so we've got that covered now. Next on the quest line. Luckily, the quest line is kind of mapping out to what we need. So we need the rocket assembly and the gas charge pad. And then we could do the suit and the workstation for the suit. But I don't know, like, I probably want a spacesuit, because aren't there, like, upgrades you can put in the spacesuit? So, like, I could wear normal armor and put oxygen tanks on it, right? But so that requires building a rocket quest. So that would be this one. So let's get a rocket assembly machine going next. So we have launch pads because we got them from some kind of quest reward, didn't we? I remember them not being hard to make, though. Yeah, it's just concrete, black dye, and yellow pigment. And, like, vanilla concrete, right? So super easy to make launch pads. Rocket assembly machine. I'll be back in a few minutes, apparently. So just as an FYI, I'm out of gear crafting slots. So I'm putting another dropper here and an interface here, which brings me up to 7 channels in use. And then I should be able to sneak this gear pattern in here, which should be cool. So then if I said, give me a titanium gear, hooray, it works. Nice. All right, so what was I making? And a couple rods, I think I needed. All right, so for the rocket assembly doohickey, we need another gear and another green circuit board. All the stamping. Waiting on the green circuit board. Come on, Chief. Let's go. It does take that machine a little bit of time to craft, and like I said, we could speed it up if we needed to. We will decide in the future if we want to or not. But there's your rocket assembly pad. Then we need 4 structure towers and a fueling station, right? Structure tower looks pretty easy. Steel rods. And a fueling station needs 3 tin plates and a steel fan. Steel plate times 4. And 3 tin plates. So that should be cool to make that relatively straightforward. And there's your fueling station. Structure tower should be good now. Bada bing, bada boom. Technically, we only needed 4 of those, it said, but let's find out. So, is there one of these for this one? Quest complete. Rocket assembly machine. Rocket assembly. There may not be one of these for this. So let's see what the book has to say. Is a multi-block structure that will allow you to make rockets to go into space. The first quest will only detail how to build the structure. Start by placing the launch pad and blocks in a rectangle on the ground. It can be anywhere from 3x3 to 16x16. Okay? So let's get started. I'm thinking like our rocket launch pad can be here-ish, right, for now? And then there you go, right? And that should be cool. And then on the same level, place a structure tower near one of the side, then stack up more of them to make a 1-block tower. This can be anywhere from 4 to 64 blocks tall. So how about like back here? I don't know that it hurts to have it be taller. And let's sleep through this night. All right, so finally place the rocket assembly machine itself 1 block above the level of the pads with the back of the machine facing the pad and plug it with RF. So that would be here. You know what I think I want to do? Let's just like straight up RF tools this thing. Right, just so we can get some immediate power going. You guys do the thing while I make a link card here. Linked to ID 1. Cool. Whee! And then what we'll do is we'll just put the RF thingy here, which I presume is almost done crafting. Hooray! Boop. And boop. And rocket assembly machine. Cool. I think I remember this screen. I remember this. Yeah, I remember that a little bit. And set everybody output. Hooray, power. Haha. All right, cool. So we're getting there. One step at a time. Finally place the rocket assembly there. Finally place the rocket assembly machine itself 1 block above. If you did this correctly, it should no longer say invalid launchpad structure. Then you need the fueling station to be able to fuel your rockets. Place it somewhere near the assembling machine. Plug it with RF and your source of rocket fuel. Then sneak plus right-click it with a linker. Then sneak and right-click to the assembly machine with the same linker. I don't think I have a linker yet, but we're going to figure it out. So you've got power now. So what's a linker? That would be that. Sneak right-click with the linker, then sneak light, click on the assembly machine. Boing, successfully linked. Sweet. Okay. So now I just need the actual fuel itself, which is in here still, slowly but surely filling up. So let's get a tank of some description. And I have no idea if 2,000 millibuckets of fuel is considered a decent amount or not. So, like, what's our situation right now? We have plenty of oxygen. We have plenty of hydrogen. We have a motor in this thing. Should we try and speed this up a little bit? So, like, our production right now is 1x speed, right? What if I broke this motor, right? And we got the tier 2 motor, right? So I need another coil. Because this thing is taking forever. Enhanced motor uses titanium and aluminum, so that might even be better, right? 3 titanium plates and 2 titanium rods. Like, we're... 2 titanium rods. I didn't teach you plates yet, though. So you should be straightforward enough. I think you can go in this one for plates, right? Yeah. Cool. So, motor. I'm just curious, like, how much better. So, oh, it tells you on the motor the machine speeds. So it's 1.5 for advanced and 2 for enhanced. So, like, let's just go for broken, go enhanced, right? I know it has a broken texture, and I'm just going to hope that that's okay. Yeah, in world, the texture's fine. Look, speed 2.x. Nice. Okay, cool. So that's twice as fast. It's going to just produce rocket fuel twice as quickly. How nice is that? Alright, so let's be prepared to accept this rocket fuel. Right, so up. Extract always active. West, insert, obviously. 3.3 buckets worth. Now, tick accelerating this thing? Hesitant to. Like I said, I'm always a little bit nervous about tick accelerating multi-blocks. Alright, so what I did is I upgraded this portable tank to Invar, and I have the one that has the 5 or so buckets here. And we'll pop him here with this like this. Cool. And then on the down, it's extract. And on the north, it's insert only. So now you've got 5,000 or 5 buckets worth, right? 5,000 millibuckets. I don't know if that's a lot, but it's an amount. It's an amount that I'm not sure if it's enough, but we'll find out. Oh, by the way, we also need a gas charge pad. So it's going to need a couple steel fans and a few other things. All right, gas charge pad complete. Now that apparently doesn't need RF, right? But he does need oxygen. So what I'm probably going to want him to do is just chill there. And then underground, we're going to do some of these conduits. Now, I'm pretty sure I made a bunch of fused quartz a couple days ago. I forget if it was on camera or not. I just threw, like, literally 2 stacks of quartz into the thing so that I would have it for when I need it. So I need it. So here's my oxygen, right? So we're going to... I mean, technically, I could just... Yeah, let's do that. Let's tap into this. So your job will be insert only. Dyer's gotten to the point where he's digging with a wrench. Did I go one too far? I did. Alright. Hello, broken texture on the bottom of the block. Make sure you did that. Cool. So, good deal. And connect. So that should see you filling up with oxygen. Nice. So that we can charge stuff. Now it does say 0 to 0 forge energy, but does it need it? I don't think so. Alright, so in theory, that means that we are ready to build a rocket and make a spacesuit. Cool. So what I think I'll do is wrap up the episode here. This is apparently the last step before getting into space. There's a lot of instructions here, and I kind of remember some of this, right? Like, you can build the rocket however you want. That's dangerous, right? Because it's like it's basically like a multi-block rocket, and you put a couple things in the multi-block rocket, like a seat and a fuel tank and a whatnot, and then you can blast off. So it can be literally like a 9x9 rocket ship if you want, of cobblestone, or other things. But once you've got them made, right, then it's a matter of blasting off into space, right? And then from there we can get into making a space station, right? And space stations you can live on, like we did in Age of Engineering. Not sure if I'm going to do that again. It was fun to live in a space station. It really actually was fun to live on a space station. But I'm not 100% sure if I want to do that route or not. Because it would basically mean moving my entire base, and that's a lot of work, especially with the amount of autocrafting stuff we got going on down here. So we'll see, but we might have a space station anyway, right? But like you get gravity controller and oxygen vents and stuff. And then on the space station, you're allowed to have a warp core, which will allow you to warp to other planets, to a warp controller. And then once you're able to warp to other planets, so I'm thinking the rocket only gets you to the moon and Earth, right? But then you can make a space station which can warp to another planet, which you can then take your rocket down to that planet, and there's other planets, or there's ores on other planets, right? So like iridium ore exists on a specific couple of planets, and other types of ore that are going to be useful for us, right? Draconium doesn't exist on Earth, I don't think. Some of these you can get, like, on other things. Like, there's other ways to get them, like Twilight occasionally. I think a couple of these are on. But things like iridium ore, for example, right? If we look at that, right, we can make iridium with UU matter, like, the standard IC2 one. But iridium ingots themselves, you can either convert from iridium ore back and forth, or you can get it in World Gen on Europa, Kelt 2AB, Stella, Terra Nova, and Proxima B. Those are the only 5 planets that have it. Or you can get into the Void or Minor Controller Tier 5, but that needs iridium neutron reflectors and all kinds of other crazy. I don't know, maybe. Maybe. We have a long way to go. So there's a lot of tech stuff to continue down the path. I'm excited to start exploring other planets, and I feel like we can start looking at maybe at least hitting the moon, which is where we get deuterium from, right? Or not deuterium. The stuff. The warp core fuel, right? Dilithium, right? Dilithium ore can only be found on Luna, Io, Stella, and Titan, right? So Luna being Earth's moon. So what I'll probably wind up doing is setting up some kind of teleport system between the different locations, because RF tools, matter receiver, and transmitter should work across dimensions. And technically the planets are dimensions in Minecraft. So I'd like to have like a teleporter network set up, but before I can teleport to the planets, I need to go to the planets and put a matter receiver there, right? So kind of like, think about like Stargate, right? Anybody who watched Stargate, back in the day, it was, you have to go get the gates on the planets, and then you can travel to them with the gates. We're going to be doing that in the next 2 episodes. So for now, Devil 20 signing off. Next episode, planetary exploration, or at least Luna. We're going to hit up the moon. We're going to make a spacesuit. We're going to make a rocket ship. We're going to go to the moon, and I'm a little excited. All right, for now, Devil 20 signing off. Take it easy.